We start right now with breaking news, a live look at the High Park Fire Command Center. A lot of smoke still in the air there. That fire, first reported hours ago, has already burned thousands of acres. And while this time lapse of the setting sun may look pretty with all of that smoke, people are fleeing that fire for their lives, and those living in the path of that smoke plume will tell you this has been a very tough day. This fire is huge, and it is still growing fast. The High Park Fire is burning 15 miles west of Fort Collins. It was first spotted just before 6 this morning near Paradise Park, and in this early picture you can see it was just a small plume of smoke coming out of some trees. And this is the view from Air Tracker 7 just about 12 hours later. The fire growing to 5,000 acres, and it's expected to grow even more overnight. Within the last 90 minutes, we talked to Liz Grenard of one of the evacuees there, and she said she had a very hard time getting all of her animals to safety because it's so hard to get a trailer to her property.
We had to take several trips, taking 4 goats at a time in a pickup truck or walking them down, and then I rode the horses out, and I had to tie them at the gate waiting for a trailer to come, and the trailer it was hard because the sheriff was closing the roads, so they weren't letting trailers through, but we finally got one.
Liz is one of maybe hundreds of evacuees. The fire department saying that 800 emergency notifications have been sent out, although many of those may be to members of the same households. A Type 1 management team is expected to take over the fire tomorrow, making it the high point fire of the priorities in our nation. Already, there are more than 200 firefighters on the lines. Now, the terrain is very rough. The air attack has been swift. 7 News at Rocky Mountain Regional Airport today as a handful of air tankers arrive from out of state to help the firefighters on the ground. By the time the sun set tonight, 5 single engine air tankers and 2 large tankers have been in the air dropping retardant all around that fire, trying to slow the growth. And the Type 2 and 3 helicopters had made countless trips to the nearby reservoirs, filling up with water to be strategically dropped on the hot spots there. Now, we have team coverage of this growing fire. Amanda Kost talking to evacuees, Matt Makins monitoring the conditions in the 24/7 Weather Center, and Mark Stewart scouring the web for the best pictures. But we start with Molly Hendrickson at the command center. Molly?
Well, it's certainly been a busy day here. Occasionally tonight you can see an orange glow off in the distance, but over the next 8 hours, crews will be focusing on protecting structures and making sure people here have received their evacuation orders. Margie Yoder has carefully watched from her porch.
It mushroomed really quickly. From hour to hour, there's a big difference.
Just when she thought she was in the clear, came the call to leave.
I'll just take what I came up here with and that's it.
The fire has been playing an aggressive game of chase all day. It's now burning north from 3 different heads in steep mountainous terrain.
We knew, given the fire conditions, given this area being a tinderbox, that it was going to be difficult. We got on it, but certainly the weather and fire behavior were not in our favor today.
743 evacuation notifications have gone out. Crews have gone door to door. Still, officials worry some, especially on Old Flowers Road, may not have made it out.
Some people felt fairly confident there may have been people trapped back there. Understand some of these people fled. It was hard to verify.
Air operations will continue through the night. Crews will be scaled back, but they'll focus on protecting structures and preparing for an aggressive attack come daylight.
We're simply planning this thing to get to Poudre Canyon. I'm not saying it's going to, but that's the planning we're doing.
And the fire, we're told, is pushing toward radio communication towers on Buckhorn Mountain. Now, if those towers burn, it could make communicating between firefighters especially difficult. Reporting live in Larimore County, Molly Hendrickson, 7 News.
Thank you, Molly. Our team coverage continues with Amanda Kost, who's been talking to evacuees. And Amanda, some of them really had to move fast.
And now they wait, Mike. They're on standby here at the evacuation center. But earlier it was a scramble to get home, get what they needed, and get out. Paradise Park burning, smoke growing, visible from miles away. The fast-moving fire from 5 to more than 5,000 acres.
It's bad.
The view up close, a wildfire closing in.
The fire crossed the road just as we got through.
Carolyn and Dick Van Orsdale barely escaping their home on Old Flower Road, the same drive where at least one person is unaccounted for.
We have neighbors that we're worried about that haven't gotten out yet.
Just smoke everywhere.
Pictures her Dane, Nicole Flannery, without her parents, both refusing to leave.
I'm just really stressed and freaked out. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to end up leaving or if they're going to end up leaving too late. I just don't know at this point.
The sun's setting, some missing. Evacuees helpless, taking stock.
Cats and dogs all made it out except for one dog. I wasn't able to get 3 goats out or any of my chickens.
Of what they now have.
We got our lives. That's the most important thing.
Now, I just checked with the Red Cross. A total of 3 people have signed up to stay here tonight. You can see there much more than that here right now. Kind of a rally point for residents to take stock of who's here and who's around right now. Now, these evacuation calls, they came in waves. And for the animals, it's still happening right now. The small animals are being taken to the Larimer County Humane Society. Those large animals going to the ranch at Loveland. Reporting live, Amanda Kost, 7 News.
Thank you, Amanda. The trees and brush being burned in this fire are tender dry. That area is in the middle of an extreme drought. And when you combine that with the thousands of acres of beetle-killed trees and high winds, it is no wonder these flames were able to engulf 5,000 acres plus so fast. Meteorologist Matt Bacon's in the 24/7 Weather Center. Matt, firefighters are not getting any help from Mother Nature.
Certainly not. The heat, record-setting heat of today and the strong wind gusts, at least the wind gusts have calmed down a little bit. 5-mile-per-hour wind gusts now near Redstone, which is just outside of the fire area, right underneath the fire. It's about 10-mile-per-hour wind gusts at this moment, but that will be changing. The wind direction is from the southwest, and notice this satellite image. It'll show you the smoke starting this morning, spreading out towards Nebraska and also South Dakota. The wind direction has been from the southwest, but there's a system. See that line of cloud cover? That's a cold front. That'll be pushing through tonight, changing the wind direction to the northwest and keeping it rather breezy. So it may be calmer right now, but stronger winds are returning. There is the front sliding closer to Craig and Steamboat Springs. A couple of showers have been popping up, but this is not going to provide any sort of rain relief for that fire area. The rain will not reach Larimer County. Coming up at 10:14, how much temperatures will drop for your day tomorrow and how that can help the fire problem. Plus, the 7-day planner does show the next chance for rain and if it's good enough to help the fire relief efforts.
Boy, that'd be great if it did happen. Thank you very much, Matt. As that fire rolled across the mountains, it sent up a plume of white and gray smoke, reaching miles into the air. During our 4 hours of coverage this afternoon, we heard from a viewer in Nebraska who could see and even smell the smoke. Here's a new satellite picture from the National Weather Service. You can see the smoke plume reaching through the Nebraska Panhandle and all the way up to South Dakota. 7 News reporter Mark Stewart's been monitoring the pictures from across the region that have been sent in. Mark?
And Mike, we've received hundreds of pictures from our viewers here at 7 News, and it's become very clear this is not just a Colorado story. The smoke is being seen across the entire West and the plains. Right away, a picture from our viewer Robert Hallinan in Nebraska. He is showing the smoke all the way northeast here in Nebraska along Highway 71. Another view of the smoke in Nebraska. This is in Kimball, Nebraska, again from Robert Hallinan. And as you can see, up top here, this is the sun and the smoke covering it. But it's not just Nebraska that's seeing this smoke. We are getting reports from across Wyoming. This is from Debbie O'Connell, a 7 News viewer in Laramie, Wyoming. As I scroll through some other pictures that we've received just tonight, we have been checking with the Colorado Department of Health. At this point, they have not issued any kind of air quality advisory, but one thing which we've been discussing all evening long in our coverage is the fact that air quality certainly will likely be impacted, possibly even falling ash in many communities as this fire intensifies and as it rages. Again, another view just from 6:15 tonight in Wellington, northeast of Wellington, from 7 News viewer Don Morse. So all parts of the West have been seeing this, including here in Denver. A reminder, if you have any great pictures, we would like to see them. Just go to the My Reports section of our website, and we would be glad to show them with our viewers.
Always appreciate that, and the video as well. Thank you, Mark. The images of this fire from Air Tracker kept us mesmerized all afternoon long. We watched as the helicopters made precise water drops, trying to stop flames from engulfing nearby homes. We watched as the fire, fueled by those strong winds, marched right across the mountainside. And take a look at this time lapse of the fire. Right now, firefighters say the fire has burned about 5,000 acres and it is continuing to grow. Potentially hundreds of homes have been evacuated. At least 2 people are still unaccounted for. And at least 10 structures have been damaged or destroyed. This from the Larimer County Sheriff. We will have live reports from the High Park fire on 7 News Sunday morning, starting at 7 tomorrow morning. Don't forget to check out the pictures and the video from today right now on thedenverchannel.com.